Hey everybody, it's Tony George along with Sean Salisbury. We're talking about the Phoenix Suns and the Boston Celtics. Be sure and catch Sean, by the way, on iHeartRadio. Great show today, by the way, Sean. You had
Thanks,
the
bud.
guy from ESPN talking NFL, and be sure and get over there and check out Sean's show over there on iHeartRadio. It's one of the best talk shows in the country. You get exactly what's on everybody's mind on that show. It's a great show. And speaking of the Phoenix Suns, a little bit close to your heart, I know that your son is one of the culinary guys for the team in that whole scenario, Sean.
Yeah, he is, man, and it's exciting because around December he got offered the job to be a chef there, and he knew they were going to be good. But little did he know that this was a really good team with a Chris Paul, who really should be in the MVP talk, don't you think, Tony? I mean, he's
Oh
done some
yeah.
great thing. We know what Booker brings. I had this team, and I know you and I have discussed it before, and about this team being a team that I don't even know if they were sneaky anymore, but I expected them to rise somewhere along the Western Conference playoffs, Tony. I think they're gonna beat somebody maybe that some people don't think they are. They're electric. They're exciting. They play wonderful offense. They got great leadership. They're well coached. But yeah, he's loving it because if you're going to go there, 4 years ago we may not have been saying this about the Suns, but we are now. So food tastes even better when you're a good cook, but when you're winning and the food tastes good. And 4 of their last 5, we got a real competitive game tonight. So he's looking forward to it as well. He loves what's going on.
Well, anybody that watches these videos, and of course, yesterday I had the Suns as the free pick winner over Philadelphia with Simmons and Harris out. And it gets easier tonight, believe it or not, even though this is a back-to-back. You take a look at the injury list for the Boston Celtics. Now, bear in mind, this is more frustrating, Sean, and you can comment on this if you want. More frustrating to me as a professional sports handicapper and professional sports bettor in Las Vegas. I do this for a living. When you cannot trust an injury report in the NBA, and all of a sudden we got to put out our picks at 8:30 in the morning Pacific, and at 4 o'clock in the afternoon Pacific, you realize they just scratched 2 starters for no reason. They're going to rest. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. And that blows your handicap. So that being said, here are the guys that are slated to be out tonight for the Boston Celtics: Tatum, Brown, Smart, and Walker. That's 4 out of the starting 5, Sean. And I'll guarantee you right now, Crowder's going to be out for Phoenix. It looks
Suns.
like it's 9 points a game. But at the end of the day here, I thought at the beginning of the season, my best bet season win total, which I put a dime on out here in Vegas, was over the season win total for the Phoenix Suns. You watch them play in the bubble last year, they were as good as damn near any team in the bubble there the last 15 games. And now they got Chris Paul. This is a deep team. They've got scores all over the floor. They're well coached. And even though they played last night, this is a statement to her. Milwaukee will beat you. Philadelphia, we're going to beat you. The best in the East. You got to play the Nets. The Nets are the top of the mountain out there. But at the end of the day, Sean, I've said this before. Can they beat Lakers without Davis and James? Yeah. Can they beat them with Davis and James? Yeah. Can they beat the Clippers full strength? Yeah. Can they beat Utah? Well, they already did full strength. Yeah. Can they beat Denver? Yeah. This is a good basketball team, Sean.
Yeah,
I'm going to lay the 3.5 of them tonight.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I'm glad you went through that injury, list that we both had seen. And back to back. First of all, it's not a tough travel trip with the Celtics, with them playing, Philadelphia and then heading to Boston for the Suns. And this would be now, not to say that you don't give bench strength credit for teams, but this is important for the Suns. It's on the road. They should beat this team, and I'm with you. I feel really comfortable with the Suns in this game. Now, if everybody was at full strength back to back, you had to extend yourself. Yeah. I get it, but they don't.
Oh yeah,
and they're led by veterans. This is a team, and you mentioned out west, Tony, and I do like this team because they do everything pretty well, and they can score. And you mentioned against the Lakers or the Clippers. This is no longer, well, if the Suns get in, they'll be, how when the top seeds, you can kind of look over and say, well, we'll take care of our business here, but we're looking because we got another series with the next guy, right? We got to deal
Right.
with Damian Lillard or Dame, or we got to deal with Donovan Mitchell in another series. I'm talking about in past years if the Suns were able to get in. This is not a team that's going to squeeze in. You say, oh, this will be an easy series. We're moving on to the next one. Rest our players. You're going to be pushed to the limit with the Suns. Like I said, I can make
Yeah.
an argument that Chris Paul belongs in the MVP talk, and everywhere he goes, the impact is felt. This young team needed him, and they got
Yeah.
him, and he's been even better than advertised. And he's been waiting for opportunities. Now, I know they're a long ways away from winning the NBA title, but, man, he's got him within distance or at least a chance, and he's been waiting for that elusive one. He'll be a difference. This team is a difference maker in the West. They'll beat the Celtics tonight, and I think they'll beat him pretty handily, if you ask me. And if that means 5 points or more, 3 points or more, I'm in. I like the Suns on the road tonight.
I agree with you here. And one thing about a team on back-to-back, the one thing that the Suns have that a lot of teams don't have is they've got 4 or 5 bench players that could come in and
Deep,
contribute
yes.
quality minutes and quality points. And a game last night, now I know that Philadelphia was a little shorthanded. Philadelphia is also one of the best home teams in the NBA, and they went in there and they took care of business on a night where Booker only had 18 points, and they still were able. But Paul stepped up, and they got players that step up. They're going to step up tonight because even on a back-to-back, you cannot play this team with one arm tied behind your back. And if you have
Yep.
this many injuries to basically your top 4 leading scorers, I mean, yeah, I don't. And Boston doesn't play any defense this year, Sean. I'll lay
Right,
the
and
points
you're
all
not
day
holding.
long.
I would agree with you 100%. The only thing that I'm concerned about in the number, what is it, 219, 220, somewhere in there, Tony, I'm not sure
Yeah,
Boston could score enough to get over that, right? I'm
yeah.
not worried about the Suns. I'm not worried, but they're not playing good enough defense. Booker's not going to score 18 again tonight. That's about 7 points shy of his season average. He's been
Right.
phenomenal. Between Ayton and Booker and Bridges and Chris Paul, I like this. When we decided this was a game we were going to talk about, and then seeing the injuries, this feels no-brainer to me. And I'm with you. I'd
Yeah.
lay it all day.
There you go, folks. Be sure and get the free $60 from DocSports.com. Click the link in the description below. Get yourself a little bit of money on the Suns tonight over the Celtics, and check out our Major League Baseball play. We're going to have a free pick in baseball today with Sean's hometown team, the Houston Astros, taking on the Angels tonight. So check out that video as well, and check out Sean. iHeartRadio podcast, his radio show there. Be sure and check that out each and every day over there. Go over some thumbs up, subscribe him, and give my boy some love down there in Houston. Thanks for tuning in.